Hey guys, welcome back to the 1,000 Card Project and our weekly report. This week we're going over the week of November 2nd through November 8th. For those that are new, we started with a $500 investment, which bought about 300 cards. We've been working on scaling that up to 1,000 cards that were worth at least $1 a piece. And then we've hit that goal. Now we're working on getting those 1,000 cards to be worth $100 a piece. And so if you're new to this, go back watching the earlier videos. It's all based off the Kevin Kelly 1,000 True Fans article and just a strategy that I put in place at the beginning of this year. This week had another good week, had 48 total cards sold, 10% on Facebook Marketplace, 10% on CommC, 29% on eBay, and had a really good week on CollX. And if you're not following me on CollX, make sure you reach out. If you haven't tried that marketplace out, let me know, reach out to me. I'd love to be your first purchase there and buy something from you. But reach out, let me know that you're on that platform. But I find it to be a really good platform to find some good deals and have a little bit better conversations with people that are in the hobby. So pretty good there. Bulk card sales this week. We had a good week there. I think we had 10 totals cards sold for a total of $13.45. Just so, last 3 weeks we've not sold anything in the bulk category. So to get 10 cards sold this week is fantastic. We typically have been putting $6 or half that towards the project and half of that towards what we've been calling debt. And so something around $6 and 75 cents or something is going to be going towards the project. $6 is going to go towards the debt here. Debt wise, that's what I had when I was trying to figure out the strategy I wanted to use. It took about 3 months, tried a bunch of different things, got about $1,400. I've been recouping that back throughout this year. We paid all but $371 off of it, just chipping away like that, putting half of that, whatever those cards were as they sold, and I haven't really put any extra effort into it. And so just going to see what that does throughout the rest of this year. And then at the end of the year, I'll figure out some sort of way to kind of liquidate it and hopefully get that to zero. That's the kind of goal with that. This week, project cards sold. We had sold 38 for a project level of 262. Each card gets a project level. So if it's a $5 card, we give it a project level of 6, meaning that after we sell, all the fees, everything, we should walk away with at least $6. So $1 profit per card. And so this week we should have hit 262 and we hit 603. And it's a little skewed because there's a collection in there, some other things that kind of were sold. But again, really, really good week. Things that sold this week, as I mentioned, I picked up that was in-person autos from like spring training and a big collection that I bought at the card shop, and then just been selling off at Facebook Marketplace. And so I've sold that all off, made pretty good profit from that. And, again, those things fall in your lap if you're in the right place and you can act. And that's what happened in that situation. Other than that, nothing really. I'd ripped, again, if you're not following me on TikTok, make sure you follow me there. But I ripped a, Bowman Chrome U box and that's the only thing I ripped there. And except for, made our first sale for, Pokemon. Never in a million years would I think that I would do Pokemon or had any interest in that, but my daughter had some interest in it. And, I'm as always, I'm kind of interested in the economics of it and the strategy behind it and all those things. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I don't know if it's, we opened a box of the latest product and put it up and made a couple sales there, but don't know if it's going to be something I stick with. This is not something I'm really that interested in, but I do see the opportunity in it. And, and if she continues to show interest in it, I'll continue to do some work there. Project purchases this week. We purchased 6 cards, I believe, or 5 cards, for $98.04, project level average of 20.6. And, we had some big sales this last week. I guess I didn't talk about those. We sold that Joe Montana PSA 6, made an $18 profit there. I'd graded a Drake May Made a $20 profit there. Sold a Bobby Witt, made a $10 profit there. So again, nothing huge, but good profit margins and good, a higher dollar, things that made that go up. Nothing big that we purchased, just, tending to pick up some of the all-time greats. Marcus Allen is in there. And then some of the current stars, Stephon Castle, Caitlin Clark, Jackson Holiday, but really going to go in on a lot of those 2024 rookie, Topps Chrome guys, from that class, really good class. I think there's an opportunity there to grade some of those. And then, that Jose Canseco I graded as well. So, really good. And we didn't buy a lot this week. Did go to the card show, but only picked up $4 box cards, which is not great. I would like to pick up higher level stuff. Just wasn't a whole lot out there. And, I keep going to these shows here in the Tampa area, and it's the same guys, it's the same inventory. And so I need to get out of Tampa and venture around to some other shows and see what I can find. But sitting at $2,444 in the budget, again, a project started with $500 is now sitting with quite a bit of inventory and $2,444 of cash. The project level right now is 7,279. So we're holding strong right in that 7,200, 7,300 range. And again, for those that are new, this means that project is, we got 1,000 cars in it that are worth very conservatively $7,279. So questions I have going into the week, not too many questions. The Pokemon question, I think, is there. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. If I want to make that a part of this, do I want to have a small percentage, maybe a 10%, maybe less? I just continue to try to learn that and find different ways. The podcast is, I'm trying to round out guests for the rest of the year on the podcast. So if you got anybody that you'd recommend, let me know that as well. But just trying to keep and refine my systems and my processes, keep moving things. And probably that's the biggest thing going into this week is I'm really starting to kind of lay out maybe how I want to kind of, put some new strategies in place for 2026. So if you got any recommendations there, love to hear them. If not, like, share, subscribe. And as always, you can always purchase cards or sell cards to us as well. So appreciate you guys. Have a great week. Talk to you next week.